April 14th, 2022 meeting of the Parker Planning Commission to order at 7 p.m. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Absent is Kim. Seated for Kim is Roxy. Absent is Eric. Seated for Eric is Nick. Are there any additions to or deletions from the agenda?
No, sir, there are not.
Commissioners, are there any corrections or additions to the Planning Commission meeting minutes from February 10th, 2022?
No, sir, there are not.
Can anybody remember back that far?
No.
Do we have a motion?
I motion to move the approval of the Planning Commission meeting minutes for February 10th, 2022.
I'll second.
It's been moved by Ileana, seconded by Rich, that we approve the Planning Commission meeting minutes from February 10th, 2022. I'll call the roll. Ileana?
Aye.
Roxy?
Aye.
Ruth Ann?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Chair is aye. Passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, item 7A, Cottonwood Highlands Plan Development, AMD 6, Amendment 6, and we will open the public hearing at 7:02. Stacy?
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman and Planning Commission members. Tonight we will be discussing an amendment to the Cottonwood Highlands Plan Development. So the subject site is located at the southeast corner of Jordan Road and Parker House Road. The applicant has submitted a plan development amendment to rezone a portion of the Cottonwood Highlands Plan Development to allow for a church. The property was annexed and zoned as part of the greater 201.7-acre Cottonwood Highlands Plan Development in 2003. At the time of the original zoning, the subject site was zoned highway commercial within the PD. The highway commercial land use designation was intended to provide destination retail and commercial uses along the E470 corridor. The subject property has been zoned commercial since the incorporation of this property in 2003. The applicant is proposing to rezone approximately 14.5 acres located at the southeast corner of Jordan and Parker House Road from highway commercial to two separate planning areas. The first planning area will consist of approximately 9.1 acres, which is 62.7% of the property, and this will be zoned retail to allow for specific retail uses. The second planning area will consist of approximately 5.4 acres, which is 37.3% of the property, and will be zoned assembly and will allow for a church and other assembly uses. The subject property is located within the E470 mixed-use character area of the town. This area is intended to serve the needs of the residents with a mix of land uses and public amenities. The proposed rezoning will reduce the types of permitted uses to focus on those compatible land use designations to meet the needs of the surrounding community and residents. The requested zoning is consistent with the specific goals, strategies of the master plan for the following reasons. The request would expand the town's economic base in an area that is designated for commercial uses and zoned for commercial uses. And the request would provide for expanded commercial activities in an area designed as mixed use. There are 9 criteria used to evaluate a rezoning. These criteria ensure that a need exists, the proposal is consistent with the master plan, adequate circulation exists, and it will not be detrimental to the town. After evaluating the information provided by the applicant for this rezoning, staff has determined that this proposal meets the 9 approval criteria set forth within the land development ordinance. In addition to the 9 criteria for rezoning, staff has determined that the project is consistent with the master plan, utility providers have confirmed capacity and availability, and all noticing requirements have been satisfied. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission recommend Town Council approve the Cottonwood Highlands Plan Development Amendment Number 6. This concludes staff's presentation. The applicant, Brett Harrington, is available tonight and does have a presentation for you as well.
Do we have questions? Do we have questions for Stacy?
Not now.
No, not right now.
Okay, does the applicant want to come forward to the microphone? And please introduce yourself and state your name and address, and we'll look forward to hearing you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Your mic isn't on. Your mic.
Nope.
Working now, I think.
That's hers. It's making the noise. What a problem solver. Way to go, Stacy.
There you go, Stacy.
Okay, testing on this one. All right. All right. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. My name is Brett Harrington, and I lead real estate development for Life Church out of Oklahoma City. Address is 4600 East 2nd Street, Oklahoma City, 73034. So tonight, I would love to take just a minute to introduce you to Life Church and then also introduce you to the project that we propose to use on this development. To begin with, I mentioned that we're based in Oklahoma City. We're led by Pastor Craig Rochelle, but we actually have 42 locations in 11 states. And so while that sounds like a pretty large church, each of our locations is intimately engaged in the communities that we're a part of, and we really strive to make these communities better, both at a community level in many ways, and then also at an individual level, as we provide the things that only a church can really provide in terms of a place to worship and meet spiritual needs and relational and emotional needs for people, and a place for community. And so with this particular development, we believe we are uniquely positioned to provide all of those things that a church provides, but there's also some really unique opportunities here to provide other needs for the members of the Parker community and also for the town of Parker as a whole. And so, to describe that, as I look at what the town of Parker has in its future plan, you guys are projecting a future for the town of Parker that is focused on strong foundations in who you are and community and family and enjoying the outdoors and being a part of culture and arts and all those things that are so important in life. And we really believe this development is a great synergy for us to come alongside and add fuel to that fire that you guys have already started. And so as we look at these next few slides, I think it'll give a little better picture for what we're envisioning for the site and hopefully answer some questions about what the long-term plans are for the project. Now, as you look at this aerial image that's on the screen in front of you there, you can see the church located down in the lower right portion of the project, which is probably least desirable for any retail tenant, but it works great for the church being a destination use. And then it allows the remainder of the development that you can see those small retail and dining spaces, 35 of them, gathered around a common green space area. Actually, several common green space areas, but the large one in the middle I want to call attention to because it provides a great spot for community to come together. You can see the covered outdoor dining there right in the middle. You can see a little pop jet fountain area, a kids play area. And when we picture this development, we envision a place for the families of Parker to gather. We envision the dads bringing their daughters here for ice cream dates. We envision families going out for dinner on a Friday night, or friends gathering on the lawn for games in the yard or live music. And so we also envision them coming here for their shopping. There's going to be a lot of retail provided for them to get their yoga pants or get their dog a biscuit from the dog bakery. And with that, we believe we can provide a holistic benefit for them and also economic support for the town of Parker. So this development, we're very excited about it. I'm going to take you through these next few slides that'll give a little better flavor for how we picture this development being constructed. So on the next slide, This is actually looking at the church building from the common courtyard area. And you can see how the entrance to the church from this side is limited to just the doors entering the facility. And then there's another door on the back side that reaches to the parking lot. But here we've embedded the church amongst the retail and dining so that it's really a part of the thriving activity space of the community. And then on the next slide, you're looking here at down a row of shops and restaurants that are on that common street that goes right through the middle of the development. And as we began to design the architecture, which we're already very deep into, our theme was modern agrarian. And so we're trying to keep that small town feel with a farmhouse feel, but a little bit of a modern edge to it as well, so that it's current with what's going on in the world. And so this gives you an idea how the development will feel when it's up and running. And on the final slide, this is actually a visual looking back across the green space and gives you an idea how the covered dining area with the fire pit would come together. You can see the pop jet fountain in the foreground with far back in the background, there's the kids' treehouse play space. So all of this, again, is just a holistic environment for people to come together and just do life and just enjoy being together as a community. So we're very excited about it. The last thing I wanted to do was introduce you to a gentleman named Zack Harris. Back here, he's got the matching haircut like mine, and he's actually going to be our campus pastor at this location, and he's been a 3-year resident of Parker, lives right up the street. And as he and I talk about this opportunity, he's extremely excited to get this building up, get the doors open, and begin meeting the needs of the town of Parker and the citizens that live here. So that concludes what I had to share. I do have our civil consultant, Dan Skehan with Kimley Horn here as well, so we're happy to entertain any questions the commission might have.
Questions for the applicant? No?
No.
All right, thanks, sir.
I'm good, thank you.
Questions for Stacy?
Yes.
Okay.
Stacy, the master plan, the E470 district has no assembly purposes in it, but you are saying that this is okay for the master plan, and the reasoning could you repeat the reasoning that you have for why it's a shifting of uses that would have been where assembly could have been somewhere else, and we're putting assembly in this corner because it was never put in those other places? Is that the reasoning?
So the master plan does not designate specific uses in a planning area. It talks about what the intended purpose of that district were and what uses would be compatible. So this is commercial, retail, regional, those uses, not residential. So that assembly portion of that does fall into that commercial component. When Cottonwood Highlands was originally developed and the zoning was done, there was planning areas that did allow for a church or those assembly uses. Highway commercial was not one of them. As I stated in the previous submittal or slides, this was annexed in 2003. Lots of history, lots of changes. Cottonwood Highlands is almost completely built out for the residential portion. The commercial is still coming. And what we've seen over time is that there's been a change in the market and the demand for the retail, and this is sat vacant. And so we believe from the town, putting the destination in the back of the lot. So the assembly in the back, while still keeping at least more than half of the property for good commercial retail, satisfies the requirements of both the master plan and the town.
Okay, thank you.
I do have one question. What was the total of the retail space that you're planning, total combined?
54,000 square feet.
Thank you.
I wanted to, what's the anticipated or hoped for congregational size or usage of the assembly area? Total, the membership, if you would, yes.
Yeah.
The auditorium will seat 750 people in it, and when the church opens, we will start with two services on Sunday morning, and then grow from there as the congregation grows.
So you're looking at maybe 1,500 people coming through that retail area to the church?
Yes, I mean, the church can grow bigger than that, depending on how many, over the years, it could grow up to maybe 3,000 people on average.
Has that been your experience in your other locations?
Pre-COVID, yes. When COVID hit, our numbers did go down about 30% at our locations, but yes, our average campuses are anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 people, sometimes 3,000 in a pre-COVID
Okay.
season. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there going to be different phases to build out? Like, is the church going to be potentially constructed first and then the retail, or is it all kind of one project?
So our intent, once we get a successful rezone on May 2nd, then we have our team queued up to begin the full design effort, both from a civil standpoint and architectural, on what we're calling Phase 1, which will include the church building and approximately 10 to 12,000 square feet of retail that's right there in front of the church building. Phase 2 will follow. We'll immediately begin marketing the remainder of the site and designing the site, but the architectural requirements for that retail and dining space are quite a bit heavier, and it's going to take quite a bit longer. And so that's the primary reason for the phasing, is to give us time to get the church, to allow the church to open sooner and provide time for the architectural process to unfold for the remainder of the development.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
How many total phases?
There will be, we have 3 planned, but it may just end up being 2. The second phase is planned to encompass the entire central portion of the project with all of the spaces around it. And then the third phase is just the 3 buildings out on the corner. But that may end up going concurrent with the second phase if everything is designed and ready to go and we have tenants that are signed up with LOIs.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So a couple of questions, Stacy. So this 14 and a half acres is currently zoned mixed use?
It is currently zoned highway commercial within the Cottonwood Highlands Plan Development. The highway commercial district allows for a large variety of commercial plus some light industrial uses. And so with removing that, we did take all those light industrial uses out of the zoning.
So right now, it's not zoned for any like multifamily or senior housing or any kind of residential or anything
So
like that, right?
multifamily, it would not permit. So if, and I'm going to pull up the highway commercial, senior housing depends, and that's why I have to look, is because if it's just housing, independent living, it falls under kind of like the multifamily. But if it's assisted living, memory care, those sort of things, it falls under an institutional use. So I'm just checking the zoning to see if that was a permitted. So a congregate care, which is your assisted living, fell under use by special review under the previous zoning.
So the 5.4 acres that with the church and the retail be on that was 5.4 acres?
So most likely, I have not seen where the line actually gets divided. So the first step is the rezoning. The second step is going to be the platting to separate the two and to create those lots to build on. And then the third step would be the site plan. And so whatever encompasses the church, including all of the parking and landscaping that's associated with that, has to fall within that 5.4 acre site.
So then the retail might not fall on that 5 acres?
It could fall like right over the
Outside.
property line. Yeah,
But
however.
But
it falls.
outside of that?
It could, yes.
Okay. That's all I had.
No more thing, nothing.
No further questions?
No.
All right, as this is a public hearing, we take the time for the community to comment on the project before us. If you have a comment on this particular project, please either step to the microphone and state your name and address for the record, or use the raise your hand feature on the Zoom call. So, Bryce?
There are no hands raised.
I think all of our audience is with the applicant, and so we will close the public comment portion of the meeting. Any further questions for Stacy or the applicant?
No.
No? Okay.
None from me.
We will close the public hearing at 7:19. Planning Commission discussion.
Well, my concern, as evidenced by my question, was the adding an assembly use where there hadn't been one originally. But the justification given that there were opportunities for assembly use that had not been taken advantage of in other areas close by to that. I think that this is a good use for this little corner of the property. And I think that there has been sufficient change in the potential uses for this property that, and in the neighborhood, that it justifies the change in zoning. So I will be supporting this.
I will as well be supporting, and I think it's not only a good use of the property, but I see it something as definitely as an added value to what Parker already brings, to bring people together, bring families together. So, good luck.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between, because it's all zoned commercial, and which is, as we know, is a revenue source for the town, and giving up 5.4 acres that's something that won't generate any revenue, but it's a small portion, so, but it's for a good reason, so I will probably be supporting it.
I agree. I think it's a great use of land, especially with the retail incorporated into the project. Looking forward to it. Good luck.
Yeah, I think it's very, very exciting. Thank you for your presentation. I think it's a pretty exciting prospect to have a use like this for this lot. I had one sticking point that I've just been tossing over in my head a little bit, and that was just that the Centennial Airport did say that they were opposed to this.
Sorry, who?
The Centennial Airport.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Just because it is in that navigation corridor, and assemblies that might be sensitive to noise, such as a church, may have some issues with it. I know you guys are aware of that, and being aware of that, you're going to plan for that. So it's not going to sway my vote. I believe I'm in favor of this.
I would concur with my fellow commissioners. I think it's a very fascinating-looking project, and look forward to seeing it come together. Do we have a motion?
I move Planning Commission recommend Town Council approve the Cottonwood Highlands Plan Development Amendment Number 6.
I second.
It's been moved by Ileana, seconded by Ruth Ann, that Planning Commission recommend Town Council approve the Cottonwood Highlands Plan Development Amendment Number 6. And we'll do a voice vote. Ileana.
Aye.
Roxy.
Aye.
Ruth Ann.
Aye.
Nick.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Chair is aye, passes unanimously. We don't very often get applause.
No,
That's kind of pleasant,
That's
actually.
never happened.
So, any further items, Bryce?
No, sir, there are not.
Do we have a move to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I second.
It's been motioned by Ruth Ann, seconded by Ileana, that we adjourn the meeting. Voice vote again, or, no, yeah, we have to do it. Ileana.
Aye.
Roxy.
Aye.
Ruth Ann.
Aye.
Nick.
Aye.
Rich.
Aye.
Chair. Aye. We are adjourned.